Hey, it's Derek, everybody, once again. I wanted to talk about specifically studying abroad or traveling abroad or living abroad or anything like that. Mostly about studying and living for this X amount of months or years or whatever. It's going to be about blacks traveling because I had a conversation with so-and-so not too long. Actually, it was actually quite a while ago. But they were pretty much at the point where they were, you know, they knew that I was traveling, and they said like, "Oh, I need to travel. I need to get out the country," and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, well, this person has a set career going. They make a more than average salary. They're definitely. I'm like, why don't you just go? She's a black person, and she's just like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's just so much work, and I don't know. Depends on what country and language barrier. Just every excuse you can find, pretty much. Like literally every excuse. So I'm going to talk about pretty much how blacks sometimes, especially the ones above my generation, what they think about when it comes to traveling to other countries in Europe, Asia, South America, anywhere where there's anywhere where there's not many blacks. Because this person wanted to also go to Africa, but they were like, yeah, I'm probably going to do that next year. But I'm like, well, what about the rest of the world? Because there's 7 continents. That's only one of them. I'm not saying you don't have to, you know. I'm not saying that she should only go to Africa and that's it, but I'm saying that in my opinion, everyone should travel. Like, that's my point. Everyone should travel to different places of different continents. Not saying that you should see every country in the world, because I'm not going to see every country in the world. But I'd love to, but I'm not. It's not really my big thing. My big thing is obviously to go to Japan. But she was saying, you know, I don't know how blacks are viewed in other countries and stuff like that. And I was just like, well, you can research it, or you can go there yourself. And I also told her to keep in mind, though, there are plenty of Africans who go to all these countries that are, you know, very homogenous with their own race. And I'm excluding Africa. So I don't find it an excuse. And it's what I wanted to get into today. A lot of African Americans, specifically black African Americans, because I know you can be like a white African American too, but specifically black African Americans, they feel that if they go to another country, they're going to get some type of discrimination or something like that. And not of my generation. I'm talking about like my mom's generation. Like people who are like 35 to 40 plus. They think like, you know, this is still 1974 or something like that, where, you know, the racism is finally stopping a little bit. Like, I'm not saying racism isn't over, because you will find racism in other countries, just like in America. But that's the exact reason why you should travel, because it's the same type here. Like, I to be honest with you, I studied in Spain for 4 months, not too long ago. Actually, like from September 1st to December 22nd, I think, or 21st, and that's when I came back, and I actually got less racism there than I got here in America. So I don't think that people should let race be a problem when they travel. I think they should just be like, they should look at it and say, if I can find someone of my ethnicity in the country I want to go to, if they've been there, why shouldn't I? Another YouTuber I'll watch is Filko or Filushko, whatever you want to call him. Oh, cat. But he travels mostly in Eastern Europe, which apparently is supposed to be so hated for Africans or African Americans or black people in general. And he teaches English in Russia, and he does all this crazy stuff in Ukraine, Russia, even in Poland, all those places where it's very, very homogenous of Eastern Europeans who are white. So, and he's having a great time from his videos. You can check him out. Post a link to his channel. But he's having a good time in those countries. So why can't anyone else? Now I disagree with him with saying that if you're black, you should not come to Russia or Poland or something like that, or Ukraine. Well, he said specifically Russia. I'm going to disagree with him, because as much as it sounds correct, I feel like it's not, considering that he's been there for so many years and he's had stuff happen to him. But I don't understand where else wouldn't. You know, I do think that you should avoid the areas that are, you know, not for certain places, because every country has their, you know, the rich people, poor people, racist, fair, whatever you want to call it. There's a whole dynamic of people that are in every country. And I think that everyone should acknowledge that and say, okay, well, since this is like this over here, I mean, it's no different than a white person in New York and they want to go to Manhattan. There's certain parts in Manhattan where there's a lot of blacks, and there's certain parts where there's a lot of whites, and there's some parts where it's very, very, very in the middle. So it's very mixed. So I think that maybe they should just maybe avoid those areas. But other than that, I don't think there should be any reason not to travel, because I think the more we further that stereotype of a black person not going to somewhere, it's just promoting more racism. So in other words, if I go to, I don't know, let's say I go to Poland, right? I've been to Poland, and I haven't seen a black person in Poland. I haven't seen one. Not saying there aren't any, but I haven't seen any. I was only there for a few days, but I still haven't seen any black people. So let's say I go there, right? And I don't know, maybe there's a little racism. I'm not gonna say black people don't come to this country because the Polish people might call you the N-word, or they might say, you know, something else like that. I think that is stupid, because if you keep doing that and you keep the people out of that country, the only reason why they have those stereotypes to black people is because they're not surrounded by them. They have no idea how African Americans are because they've never encountered any. So they go by the media, which obviously isn't good for African Americans right now, sometimes, but that's what they go by, and they might say, oh, well, black people just rob and shoot and kill people. And that's the problem I have when it comes to someone saying, don't go to this country because of this and that and third. Honestly, I think it's dumb, because the more you keep out of that country, the less exposed to those people are going to be of your ethnicity. And they're not going to know what to do and how to approach it. So if you keep that out of it, that's just promoting more ignorance. So I don't really agree with that. But other than that, I think black people, honestly, I've been to so many countries in Europe, but I haven't experienced any racism. I've been called the N-word overseas, but I'm letting you know, in Europe, the N-word is not supposed to be, it's not a derogatory thing. It's just what they call black people, because it's part of the language, or it's part of, you know, a lot of languages when it comes to black people, it's some form of the N-word, whether it's negro or whatever. I was in Spain and there was a rum called negrita. Like, guys, it's just the way it is. I don't know how else to say it. It's just different in that country. Not saying that it's right, not saying it's wrong, but it's there. So, you know, just acknowledge that, and I guess just be fair about it, because there's plenty of stereotypes about America that are pretty bad, and that can really restrict other people from other countries from coming here. But, you know, I don't know. I'm not really in that mindset, but if you are, you are, but I'm telling you that it doesn't really help the world in any way, shape, or form. It just creates more fear, and more and more and more. People fear what they don't know, and if they don't know what it is like in another country, they're going to be afraid to do it. So that's my little response video, I guess. It's not really a response video. This is more just about blacks traveling abroad, whatever you guys are planning to do. But if anyone's at Berkeley, go to Berkeley Valencia. It's really cool. It's really awesome. I wish I could go again, but for my major, I can't. But other than that, peace.